Hello everyone. So the video with the how to do the interim Viva has been really popular, and I've been thinking that then maybe you want a similar thing, for the real Final Viva. So that's what I'm doing today, to give you some tips how to structure your Final Viva presentation. And you know what? It's actually very similar to the interim Viva. It just gives you obviously the final view and verdict of your topic. So I've been taking the slides from the interim Viva, and I have ever so slightly touched them up to turn them into the final Viva presentation. So if you start with the title page, there's nothing really you need to change, unless you've obviously maybe changed your title. So you might actually have changed your title, sorry, but otherwise, hopefully everything is pretty much the same. And then if you go to the next slide, talk overview, that's still the same, very similar at least. So always a good idea to give the audience the overview of the talk. Background, context, probably still the same. I don't think I would have a problem if you literally copy paste what you had done during the interim Viva, maybe update it a little bit if it's important. But this is just to very briefly remind everyone of the background of your topic. And then aims and objectives. As you can see, the only difference really is that these aims and objectives should now be in their final form. As you can see here, I've indicated in green, these objectives should have evolved throughout your project into now their final form. So list them as being finalized, and they should accurately reflect the work you've actually done during your thesis. The slide on the literature review can probably, in my opinion, go, because we've talked about the literature review in the proposal, during the interim Viva, and during the supervision, and by now that's kind of not really so important anymore, unless for some reason you've done a project where it's really, really important to actually, improve on the literature, maybe some new knowledge in terms of a research contribution. But otherwise, I would have thought that you don't actually need to talk about the literature anymore. And now basically the big thing to do is the contributions. So that will replace your progress to date. You're going to turn this into perhaps several slides on the main contributions of your project. So you need to be very careful that that is not too verbose, not too much materials, but on the other hand, also sufficient amount of information that we can judge, the impact that your contributions made. So have perhaps a diagram, have result-focused information on the outcomes, maybe outcomes of a statistical analysis or outcome of a simulation. If it's code, then you can maybe just list the functionality that you have achieved. That kind of stuff. That is the bulk of your work. That is the main central slides where you should probably spend most of the time during your presentation. Okay, then I don't really think there are any next steps normally, so you can delete that slide from the interim Viva. And finally, the conclusion, I guess it's just basically up to date. So you're going to update your old conclusion in terms of the achievements to date into achievements, till the very end of your project. You could discuss limitations or alternatives. You can criticize yourself. That's normally a good idea. It shows that you're aware of, alternatives, and give some ideas about future work. So that concludes your Final Viva talk, and it concludes this video as well. Thanks for watching.